Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 56th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to begin our discussion on pointers. Now pointers make a very interesting and very important concept in C, right? And C and C++ are the two languages that use pointers quite a lot, and C and C++ are popular because they have pointers, right? And I won't say that the other language is not good because in some languages like Java, for instance, you don't have the concept of pointers, but pointers are really fun to understand and easy to learn. And I'm sure that in this course, whatever we are going to discuss on pointers is going to be informative as well as interesting for you guys. So in this tutorial we are going to see what a pointer variable is, and what kind of value you store in a pointer variable, and why would you want to use a pointer variable, right? So we're going to cover those topics in this tutorial. And as you can see, using code blocks, I've saved a file. I have given it the name pointers.c. On line 1 in this file I have the stdio.h header file. On line 2 I have the main function declaration, and then between the curly braces I have some code which should seem familiar to you guys because we've seen these three statements I don't know how many times, but quite a lot of times in this course already. I have an integer declaration. On line number 4 I have declared a variable called x, and I have given it the value 10. And on the next line I have used the printf function to display the value of x on screen, and of course since x is an integer I've used the %d format specifier. And then there is a new line escape sequence after the %d format specifier because we want the next line of output to be on a fresh line in the output window. And then on the next line I have another printf statement that displays the address of x. Now we know that to get the address of a variable in memory we have to use the address of operator or the ampersand symbol, and that's what we've done here, right? Since the address in memory is also going to be a number and it's going to be an integer number, that's why we use the %d format specifier here too. Now let's get to our discussion on pointers. Now firstly, a pointer variable is a variable that holds the address of another variable, right? It's just as simple as that. So if you get the address of x and if you store it in some variable, then that variable can be a pointer variable, right? And you have to declare the pointer variables in your program in a special way, right? So just as we declare normal floats or characters or other variables, you don't use the same methods to declare pointer variables. There's just little variation there, and that's what we're going to see next. So on line number 5 in this program I'm going to declare a pointer variable. I'm going to call it ptr. Now before you type in the name of your pointer variable you have to put an asterisk symbol, right? And this asterisk symbol is not the multiplication operator, so don't confuse it with that, but it's just one way of telling the compiler that this variable, the variable called ptr, is a pointer variable and it's going to hold the address of some variable in the program, right? So this is how you declare pointer variables. So the first point that we wanted to discuss in this tutorial is now discussed, right? So on the next line what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the variable ptr the address of x, right? So you do that by using the address of operator or the ampersand symbol, right? Just as we have done in the printf statement on line 8. So we're going to do the same thing here. And just to show you guys how pointer variables work, I'm going to use two more printf statements and display to you the values that are stored in the pointer variable and also at the address that's contained in the pointer variable, right? So let's do that, and I'll type in printf and then value of ptr. Of course, since it contains the address of x, which is an integer, we'll have to use the %d format specifier here. And since we will be printing one more thread on screen, I'll put the new line escape sequence there as well. And you just type in ptr here, right? And I'll put a semicolon. And then on the next line, I'll type in printf again. And then value at the address stored in ptr. Now ptr is a pointer variable that contains the address of x, and if you want to get the value that's stored in the address that's contained in ptr, well, you can easily use x for that. But if you want to use just the variable ptr to get the value, then it's possible, right? And the way you do that is by using the asterisk symbol before the pointer name. And this is something that maybe I have told you guys in in one of the tutorials in this course, I guess, when we were discussing the call by reference method of calling functions. I discussed this then, but in case you don't know, then it's pretty simple. So all you have to do is you have to type in the asterisk symbol and then the name of your pointer variable, which in this case is ptr. And of course, since the value is an integer, I'll have to type in the %d format specifier here, and I'll put the semicolon to terminate this statement. I'll save the file. When I click on build and run, you see that in the output window I get 4 statements, and the first one says value of x is 10 and the address of x in memory is 2686744. Now the value of ptr, which is our pointer variable, is the same as the address of x, right? So that concludes that when you use this kind of a thing in your program, you declare a pointer variable and then you assign it the address of some variable, then the address actually gets stored, and then the value at the address stored in ptr is 10, right? So this is the value of the variable x. So that's it for now. In the next tutorial, we're going to see the kind of things that we can do using pointer variables. We're going to see pointer arithmetic and some more cool things like array of pointers and stuff. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'll see you guys in the next one, and please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.